Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NFC 2 North semi-final playoffs as we have the Sandwell Steelers hosting the Staffordshire Surge. These two teams have become fairly familiar with each other. 3 times they've met this year. Sandwell lead the series 2-1. First meeting going the way of Staffordshire, 27-23. Second meeting in Sandwell as well, going the way of the Steelers, 17-7. And Sandwell winning the last one convincing fashion, 35-7. So Sport Tank is here in a pretty dreary Walsall Rugby Club, and it's not just Tebs here. I've got Alfie here to cover this game with me as well.
Yeah, hello everyone. You join us from a beautiful part of the country in the West Midlands. The weather doesn't say that, but it is. Trust me, it definitely is.
You feel it in your heart.
I know it is. You know.
I know it is. I feel it is.
The weather really doesn't match what kind of game I think we're going to have on our hands today.
So Sandwell have won the toss. We're going to see what they do here. Again, it's very much destined to be an interesting game here today. Splitting the series 2-1. So Staffordshire are going to receive the ball come the opening kickoff. One of these two teams is going to punch their ticket to Coventry on September 7th to face the winner of Colchester versus Essex. That game happening today also. You know, I'd say it's very, very interesting. I think that both of these teams could give the winner of that game. My money, personally, is on the Colchester Gladiators. I think can give them a run for their money. I'd say at the start of the season it was looking all Colchester, but I'm sure one of these two teams, potentially, again, I feel like I'm counting out the tridents here, but I do think that when it comes to us reading out the scores a little bit later on in the programme, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a big Colchester score. We do know currently, last check from us anyway, the Caesars were up 21-10 over the Yorkshire Rams as they look to punch their ticket not only to the Premiership, but Sunday, September 8th, in the Britball D1 finals.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like playoff football, is there?
That's it. It's completely unpredictable. We've already seen that already with Wembley beating East Kent. Obviously, Sport Tank will be streaming that game, which kicks off at 2:30 with Rushmore welcoming Wembley again for the 3rd time. And I think that's been the question around the league. You know, it's difficult to beat a team 3 times. We've had multiple discussions. Is it really? Is it? But we don't have to worry about this today because no one's beaten anyone 3 times here today.
I think anything you did in the regular season, you can discount in playoff season. Completely different as we are about to get underway here in... Oh, no.
Oh, so ball has fallen over, don't you?
Ball's fallen
don't
over.
Worry. Sometimes a bit slightly anticlimactic, but don't you worry about it. 32 for Sandwell will be the man to kick it away. 2 returners back for Staffordshire. Ball is up, ball is away, and it's a good kick. 22 bobbles it, but he's going to take off. He's got 13 as a blocker, finds a little bit of space. But Sandwell managed to get the ball down inside the Surge 20. A good start here for the Steelers. Now the Steelers, they've had an interesting journey. 2022, they were a Premiership side, then having a Sandwell slide. You know, if it's a Bucks season, sorry Titans, it's a Swansea slide. In senior ball, you can call it a Sandwell slide, going straight back down to Div 2 after an unhappy stop in D1. But let's be honest, they're promoted now, but they love to cap it off with a championship. So no one on the outside, very, very heavy for the Surge. And it's going to be a reverse. 13 has got it on the outside. But absolutely nothing. Steelers number 1 comes away with the tackle. We're going to get up some...
You have a Surge player down on the... I think
he's up, don't you worry.
He knows he went down then. No, they were just huddling.
You know it's playoff football. They're going to get straight back up. Don't you worry. So a gain of 5 on that reverse play.
And it's Aidan Broadbent in at quarterback, just a quick notice for the surge.
Jake Hill on the tackle for the Steelers. It's going to be a fake handoff. It's going to be another reverse, this time to the other side. Number 22 for the Surge has got it. He's got a first down, and he's got a lot more. Hill tries to tackle him, and Hill is going to bring him down. But what a breakaway that was by 22 of the Surge.
Yeah, a great response to a poor return, really. I mean, 2 plays in, and they're already, I mean, in the other half.
I'm sure the Sandwell Steelers did not think that the Surge would be encroaching on their territory so quickly. 2 reverses, both going to opposite sides of the field, a nice big long part of the field this time, and the Surge are on the Sandwell 47, where we are directly lined up. Another tight set, going to be a QB keeper, and it's going to be a shove, and you just love to see plays like that. Sometimes football doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to be spirals through the air. Sometimes you just need big...
Push the man with the ball as far as you can.
You just need big men to push the man with the ball. And that is going to be an 8-yard gain for the Surge.
Yeah, good opening drive for this offense.
Taking very little chances, which is good to see. Why would you? You don't need to.
Early in the game, just need a solid drive to get you started. I think we were talking before the game, the team who makes a stronger start here, it will be a really big...
I completely agree. Thankfully, I may have jinxed it, but the skies have opened up and they're nice and tight, sending 10 in an orbit motion round. The QB's got it again. Hey, it works. It worked last time, and I'm not sure if you could see on the video. The QB basically, like making his way through a busy shopping centre, just turns his body to the side, making sure he can fit through the gap, and it's going to be enough for a first down. Another first down.
Another, yeah.
For the Staffordshire Surge.
Sandwell are going to have to find a way to stop that play, because, I mean, that's 2 plays, and what was it, 11 yards, 12 yards maybe?
It seems to me, look, the sound may be a bit bombarded by this. It's quick and it's working. It's as simple as that.
That quick breakaway reverse run in the second play of the drive, I think it might have shell-shocked him a bit.
You know, in the last 2 games, Staffordshire has only been able to score a single touchdown on the Surge. 10's in an orbit motion again. QB's going to keep it himself, but he's going to be brought down by Simon Bennett, number 55. It was blown dead.
We'll see. Blown dead.
It was blown dead. So number 55, Simon Bennett of the Gloucestershire Gladiators, on the tackle there. Always good to see Simon playing football. In fact, he has gifted me a Sandwell Steelers Divisional Championship shirt, which I've been told that I have to wear. Yeah. But a great TFL there from the University of Gloucestershire graduate. And he barely graduated. Let me promise you, tell you that.
I'm not.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 2nd and 13 for the Surge. Their first, negative play of the game, and it's going to be a fake toss. It's going to go to 22. He's going to get up the middle.
And it's a good tackle at around 25, maybe somewhere around there.
I think that's going to split the sticks for them.
It's a big moment for Sandwell. Stop here, and this a good start to a drive. But we've seen Surge so far mixing it up. As it's Aidan Broadbent again, ready for the ball.
Again, sending 10 in the orbit. It's not going to him. Broadbent keeps it himself.
And that's a great stop for Sandwell. After such a promising start to a drive, that is a great stop. And we'll see what the offense do.
Again, great tackle there by Robert Hardwick. It's now going to be a 4th and 5 for the Surge, but they're going to bring on some extra people.
They've sent their starting QB out. We'll see what this play involves. Looks like they're staying out. Going for it so early in the game.
Yeah, another motion. Surge are loving it. He's looking.
Incomplete. And that is a turnover on downs, and Sandwell will get the ball on about their own 25.
But a lot of motion, some great reverses, a lot of trick plays there. You know, Staffordshire, obviously, sounds the same. Using all those trick plays, would love to score there. Have they potentially, you know, blown the plays that they may have already looked at and seen that Sandwell possibly would be able to get yards off them? But the Surge don't manage to punch it in, and this time it's Sandwell's first offensive drive of the game.
That's number 16, Zach Green.
There's no one deep. It's going to be a run up the middle, but that looks to be immediately stopped.
I'll tell you what, the Surge had figured that one out pretty early.
It seemed to me that as much as that running back, once I grab a name, Joshua Dodsworth, he went into that pile with a head of steam, but you know, we can see there's some big stout men on that Surge D line. They can absorb it, and it's going to be no loss on the play. So it's going to be the first pass of the game for the Steelers.
Underthrown.
And that is just bouncing off the feet of the Surge number 2. I'll try and get him.
Stuart Edwards.
Surge.
Sorry, no, the Surge number 2, yeah? Surge number 2?
Yeah.
Mido Hamed. Oh, I do apologise if I'm butchering any pronunciations here today.
So 3rd and 10. Not managing even close to the yards that the Surge managed to get on their first drive of the game. So Cuba's going to take himself 96 for the Surge, was right there, giving him absolutely nothing.
That's William Ayers. And a great tackle, great stop.
No, absolutely. You know, I'm not ready to say that was a hungry caterpillar. That was a little bit of an easy read.
Yeah.
Going to be a loss of 1 on the play, 4th and 11, and the Steelers are going to bring on their punting unit. And you've got to be more impressed with the Surge on if we're evaluating both first drives. Yeah. But I think this second drive for the Surge is where it's going to get very interesting.
Yeah, I think the defence have taken a lot of the pressure off the offence as well. I mean, that fourth, when they went for it on that 4th down last time.
And I tell you what, considering the wind we've got here in Walsall, that's a good punt. Looks to be going out. I'm going to take a guess at the 23-yard line. Offense being called to the tent.
Still a bit fuming they've got a tent.
Yeah, it's quite windy here.
Yeah.
There's no rain yet, but I know there's another broadcast team somewhere in the Rushmore area that probably have a gazebo. Not saying anything, Steve. Who's probably watching this, Steve. Will a gazebo fit in my car, Steve? Probably not, Steve.
As it's the number 3 for the Surge back in.
So it's going to be another pop. But the Steelers managed to wrap it up. There's going to be a gain on the play. There's not going to be a lot.
Yeah, and the run game for the Surge has been quite on and off so far. But
so someone's having a quick talking to. While they're having a quick talking to, just want to give you our ref crew. Andrew Lavelle is our head ref. Michael Helkvist is our umpire. Emma Payne, our head linesman. John Eikins, our line judge. Jason Mead, our back judge. Robert Cornwall, our field judge. And Mark Schofield, our side judge. I just want to let everyone know, if you are interested in being a ref, BAFCA is the place to go. We always need more refs, and we need them. We need more refs. And against another QB keeper shove, but it seems to be that the Surge have got 2 QBs on their roster. They got themselves a running QB in their number 3, and their number 1 is their running receiver. Broadbent is their guy on the ground.
Levitt Allen through the air, by the looks of it. Well, we'll see. Third and about 3, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Again, the Surge offense just seems a bit more dynamic.
3 staying out though for this 3rd down play.
It wouldn't surprise me if he is able to keep it himself or sends maybe 13 in motion. It's a
High
high snap. And Broadbent recovers it. Simon Bennett was just there for the Steelers and he's unable to come away with it. But it's going to be a punt now for the Surge. But again, if we're doing it, obviously the game's not based on who gets the most positive yardage. But as of right now, Surge are dominating.
Yeah, and I think, again, we spoke about before the game as well about the mistakes and how important they're going to be in this kind of game where it's going to be close. You know, you can't afford these kind of high snap mistakes like that. It looks like they might be going for it. Oh, no.
No, definitely not.
Sorry,
It's fine. And
I was looking wrong.
We can see that the punter is especially marked with a nice blue helmet.
Brilliant.
Seems as though they're missing someone. So 25 for the Surge. We'll grab you a name in just a moment. Ball is up, ball is away. Quite high. It's going to obviously go on the Sandwell side of the field, taking a Surge bounce. And recovered by number 44. Where is my phone? There it is. Try and get you the name of the punter. Sean Williams with a good punt for the Surge. Going to wait for the spot. Sandwell going to take over on their own 22 by the looks of things.
The offense are going to want to be given a better look for this drive.
100%,
definitely.
you know, going, not able to get the first down in their first drive. This game has been very even so far. Exactly what we thought it was going to be. Going to be a run play and swallowed up. Absolutely amazing. Let's have another look at that replay. Number 40 of the Surge, Connor Bayliss, with a huge tackle for loss. And the Steelers are going backwards.
Again, I think it's a story of their first two drives. They need to get some positive yardage, even if it's only a short run, just to get them going.
Are we going to be looking through the air now for Sandwell? We've seen those run plays go absolutely nowhere. If they are going to be going through the air.
And the pass rush got there again then. It was under pressure, the QB, as he tried to throw that out.
You know, it's very, very impressive from the Surge today. Or the Surge defense anyway. They're not letting Sandwell get anything. But it seems to be, and I don't think it's too out of the realm of possibility to say, even this early into this game, I think this is going to be a defensive showcase today. So, 3rd and 14, I'm going to say. And it's a pass and a quick throw out, and 11's got it. And that's going to result in the first Sandwell first down of the game.
Yeah, great play. I just spoke about the fact that they just need something going forward. And that, I mean, that's a huge play for Sandwell.
Callum Jackson-Tate on the grab there. Potentially could lead to a bit more Sandwell momentum this time as they move onto their own 36. Mr. QB's name?
Zach Green.
Zach Green, thank you. I couldn't find it on the roster sheet. So it's going to be another run. And it's going to be stopped dead, potentially a gain of 1 there, maybe even their best run of the game so far. It is going to be a gain of 1.
Yeah, Sandwell struggling to get the running game up and going this early.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, was these, you know, last 3 games, these last 3 meetings between these teams, was it a run-heavy attack from Sandwell? Have the Surge base? Because you look, there's no one in the backfield. They've got no deep coverage. So Green again throws it up.
Overthrown to the sideline.
Unable to get anything going to number 5. Going to bring up a 3rd and 9. Flag on the play. I didn't spot it. I was too busy looking at the receiver. Dane Davies, the receiver.
Didn't see it personally, but I'll...
We were too busy staring.
Ball watching.
Ball watching. Connor Bayliss, who got a great tackle in the first drive, or the first offensive drive for Sandwell, has roughed Zach Green And now the Steelers are going to have their first attempt from the Surge side of the field. A big 15-yarder. But can the Steelers capitalise? That is the question.
0 men deep again for the Surge.
They really are pressing. So I imagine people are going to be dropping back. But normally you'd expect at least some people to be off. We can see, I think that's 21 who's dropping back already. 8 is going and falling forward for a great run. That's polite. Dodsworth with a good carry. That's going to be a gain of 4 for the Steelers. So there's going to be trips to the right-hand side. Green is looking, just unable to connect.
Bounces off the receiver's hands. That number 11.
Certainly was.
That's Callum Jackson Tate, who received the ball earlier.
And I believe it also might be his birthday. I've got sneaking suspicion, considering that someone on the Sandwell bench, who we are, stood slightly above, said that good catch for the birthday boy, unless that's a very strange nickname.
Oh, happy birthday just in case.
Yeah. But if not, don't wish you a happy birthday. 3rd and 6 for the Sandwell Steelers. Their best field position of the day so far. Green is looking, tries to go through the middle, and it's
intercepted.
Off. Number 40 of the Surge is going to take it.
It's Connor Bayliss again.
Connor Bayliss is proving to be a force for the Surge and just grabs it straight in the middle. I'm telling you, defensive showcase on our hands today. Pick on the cards. Surge are going to get it inside their own territory.
I'll tell you what, not many man in D. That looks working, the Surge at the moment.
It certainly is.
The box is full, and he threw it right to him that time.
I mean, straight down, looked natural, looked absolutely natural. So here we are now. Surge are going to be on the 38, their own. 22 now on the orbit motion. Fakes to him, it's going to be up the middle now. Going to be a decent enough gain. Whistles are not blowing. I'm going to say potentially a gain of 3 on the play.
And I have got to question them kind of plays. I've been doing them almost every play, it's on and off. How much are they going to work over and over again? Will Sandwell figure them out?
It's more so, there's so many different options it could be. Because the QB could take it himself, could be going to the man, doing the orbit. We've seen it fake to another person coming across the middle in front of the QB. But I think this is just happens when you've got a dynamic quarterback. Again, 22 going for the orbit. This time going to the orbit man. But I think Sandwell are going to have him.
Dropping way behind the line.
38 of the Steelers coming away with a big tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And it's weird you did say that. How many times is this actually going to work? Didn't manage to work for them there. Do you see a 38 on there?
Yes, Robert Hardwick.
Where?
Just underneath 16, if you can.
Where's 16?
This side.
Oh yeah, Robert Hardwick, great tackle.
Well done, Robert.
Yeah, we want to thank everyone who does give us rosters, but when they aren't in number order, I can't do it. So, flag on the play. I imagine this is probably going to end up being on the Surge just due to the amount of motion that they are currently using. They're obviously looking for a pop jet sweep there. Always smart, in my mind, to go for the pop jet sweep, because if the receiver coming across doesn't get it in his hands, that's an incomplete pass. You haven't got to worry about it. And it certainly is. So the Surge, they already had a tackle for loss, and now they're going backwards for a 3rd. And I'm going to say 16. What do you think about that? Do you think that's 16?
Oh, yeah. Yes. About that.
I'm going to have a look at the comments now. Who's out here watching? Who's getting their appetite ready for Brit Bowl soon enough? Oh, we've got some Glads watching. Unbelievable stuff. Not Colchester, Gloucestershire. So 22 in motion again. Now we're looking for a throw. Oh, and just bounce at the feet there, but the change in at QB, number 1 in for the Surge, so they definitely do have a system, but also it makes it very, very obvious when they're passing or they're running.
Yeah, they might need to switch it up with the 2 quarterbacks, but we'll see what they can conjure up.
But Levitt Allen wasn't that far off completing that throw.
No.
So Sean Williams back to punt for the Surge. Good long snap. Ball is away, but he is kicking into the wind. Going to take a slight Surge bounce and a bit of a Surge roll. And it seems to me that the Steelers are going to have it on their own 32 to start this drive, but 100% evenly matched. I'm interested. I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it will take for one of these teams to break through and get some points.
Oh, 100%. I think that the play that results in the first points of the game is going to be a special one, which means I'm probably going to miss it on the camera because that's always how it works.
Yeah, you think the play that does it is a breakaway or a
100%.
chunk, you know.
100%.
One mistake's all it takes from either team.
So regular pro former just delivers it to Tate Jackson. Big hit, but I don't think he went down on that initial bit of contact.
No, I don't think he did. Survived through that big hit. Fair play to the number 11. He's had it a couple of times now.
Definitely seems to be the star receiver for the Steelers. And he's going to have a gain of 6. Jackson Tate, might just call him birthday boy from now on. Keep it locked in.
If it's not his birthday, that would...
It'd be awful. We've got to ask him at half time. Bro, is it your birthday? What's going on? So, only 4 to the first down. It's going to be going, and it's going to be enough for a first down. And it's good to stay on his feet whilst there's, you know, Surge players hanging off of him. Dodsworth with a great carry, having to grab the yardage as Luke Tyler makes the first contact, but just can't bring him down for the Surge. First down, Steelers.
Yeah, first really good run for them as well, I think, you know.
We've seen a few plays. That first drive, they were getting absolutely nothing on these run plays. They've started to improve. And Dodsworth's doing some hard run. You can see they've started dropping people back now as well. It's going to Jackson Tate, and he makes a man miss. We're going to have another look at that. Wanted absolutely none of that tackle. Watching from Scotland, Emma Clark, very nice, playing number 0 for the Steelers. Who's number 0 for the Steelers?
Wow. Finn Sly.
Finn Sly.
That's what I got.
That's perfect, because Emma Clark's watching her way up from Scotland just for him. So, going to say a gain of 3. Do you think that's 3 or do you think that's 4?
Yes. I'm going to say yes to that.
Awesome. So got a man in motion. Jackson Tate in motion. He's got it on the jet sweep. He's not going to have the space. And an absolutely booming tackle there from number 21, I want to say, of the Surge. I'm waiting for him to turn. It certainly is. Shane Hollinshead with a good tackle, sending the Steelers back. They're going to have a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, anyone who plays the college football game will know that that play is a beast of a play.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. For some reason, it works every time.
Every time. Every time.
No way. So, that is the end of Q1. Completely scoreless. And I'd say pretty even as well.
The scoreline doesn't really replicate what the game's been like, though, I feel. You know, quite a exciting defensive battle to watch. All over.
I mean, considering the scores that they've had over the last few times, seems to be, the first game seems to be a lot more even, with the Surge taking it 27-23, 17-7 for the Steelers the next time they met, and then 35-7 for the Steelers in the 3rd meeting. And I tell you what, you look at that last score, it's difficult to see where that's coming from. I say that, but it's 3rd and 10. They could rip one off. They could rip off a massive one here. We don't know.
It'd be proper. It'd be, you know, typical if they did that.
Typical. So here we go. 3rd and 10.
Tops back.
And just over the head. But
Again,
nice
the
and
pass
lateral.
rush was getting to the quarterback again. You know, pressures from the surge so far have been pretty good. Quarterback's not had much time in the pocket to get it out.
I think Green may have only completed 2 on the day. Well, no, that's not true, actually. Probably about more like 4. But they're trying to sort of get it to that emergency in the screen, but just throwing it overhead. But I'd say good wherewithal from both Surge and Steelers players to jump on that ball, even though it was blown dead. You know, there was potentially some lateralness to it. And the Steelers are going to punt it again. Good long snap. Simon Bennett is great at that. Number 22, back for the Surge. Going to take a nice bounce. And a good punt, but there is a flag. All the way over here.
And a roughing the kicker would be devastating for the Surge at this moment in time.
You can see number 25 for the Surge is saying it's a block in the back on the Steelers. Yeah, it's definitely a block in the back. We can hear number 58 for the Steelers saying that there was no block in the back because I was in front of him. So Sean Williams, the punter there, calling for the penalty. And that's going to give the Surge a little bit of extra yardage to tack onto the punt for the Steelers. Obviously, we've got a great weekend of British American football, probably one of the biggest weekends, if not the biggest weekend. Semi-final Sunday, the Aztecs and the Titans, the Warriors and the Vikings, the Caesars and the Rams, the Stallions and the Knights, the Tridents and the Gladiators, and right here, the Steelers and the Surge. I think that weekend in Coventry on the first week of September is going to be a real interesting one. I don't think there's a bad game across them, and we don't even know who's in them. We don't even know who's in them yet, and I don't think there's a bad game across them. And we've got a fair few games being live streamed today. Nottingham versus the Rams, the Aztecs and the Titans, obviously Wembley and Rushmore. But hey, you're locked in here, stay here, don't go anywhere, because it's 0-0 and I haven't got a clue. So it's going to be a pass, and it's picked up, and it's going to be a big 6 for the Steelers. And Sandwell break the deadlock. Touchdown, Sandwell.
He jumped the route perfectly, saw the ball coming, and there is a flag on the play.
I think that's probably going to be for. I think that's going to be for some celebrations.
That is the celebration.
And number 38, Robert Hardwick, breaks the deadlock for the Steelers, but they're going to be having a try from a bit further back.
And that is exactly what the Steelers needed to start the scoring.
I'll tell you what, when we said that there was going to have to be something spectacular to break the deadlock, I think we found it. Robert Hardwick coming up clutch. So it's going to stand, but unsportsmanlike. I know it might be hot and you're feeling your emotions, but you can't take your hat off.
Yeah, it was a.
It's like you're working in Greg's. You can't say you haven't. No matter how excited you get.
I think the penalty is on a ununiformed person in the celebration. He ran onto the field.
Oh, that's a bold penalty. So here we go. This could be hitting someone's car, and it's blocked. And Samuel tried to grab it, and it's bobbled, but brought down by number 95, so my camera was slightly drifting. So 6-0 is the score.
Yeah, and a huge block there from the Surge. I mean, every point is going to matter today. It looks to be so close. And we'll see what QB they send out this time. It was the number 1 who threw the pick.
So we're going to bring you in on some of the scores from around the league. Coach Russ filling us in. Always good to have Coach Russ here. The Aztecs are currently up 10-3 over the Titans. Interesting, interesting. But a great read, picked it off straight into the end zone. And a scoreless first quarter that was pretty even. Deadlock absolutely snapped by Hardwick.
It was a great jump on that route. He saw exactly where the ball was going. No one was stopping him after he caught that on the flat.
But definitely now the pressure has to be going to the Surge. They've managed to have a better offensive performance today. They've managed to have a better offensive performance today than the Steelers, but they've not managed to come away with any points. 6-0 the score.
I'm not sure how surprised I am that it was a defensive play that scored the first points of the game.
I'm not.
No, there you go.
Again, it's a defensive game. It's a defensive game. It wouldn't surprise me, and I mean this, if that's not the last defensive touchdown we see today. So the kick is up and the kick is away, and it's a good kick. Bounce in front of 22 for the Surge. He's going to be looking to have a lane through the middle. He's going to have a good lane. And I tell you what, flag on the play.
There was a block in the back. I did see it just around here.
There was a block in the back. And I thought that ball was looking a bit shaky as he was hitting the ground. Sandwell looked like they're ball hunting.
It was a push right in the back.
So a good run. A good run from Mitch DuRose. He's going to have 10 yards wiped off of it, and the Surge are going to be starting deeper than they would have liked. You can see the Surge are currently out there. They're a bit perplexed. Where's the ball? Ref's got the ball. Don't you worry. Sandwell have got two slightly deeper. And they've got some linebackers that look hungry. Going to have one blitz. It's going to be a reverse. And DuRose has got it. I tell you what, I didn't have a clue there. They faked me out. I thought, do you know what I thought happened? I thought that Simon Bennett, number 55, I thought he may have jumped it. I thought he may have jumped the ball, but it was going to DuRose, and it's going to be a first down. And a great first salvo back from that pick six from the Surge.
Yeah, and I have to say, this number 3, this quarterback's his option play and his handoffs are working pretty well. Getting some chunk plays from these runs.
You know, Broadbent is doing well. They love this heavy set. And you can see that Sandwell are trying to send everything. And it's going to DuRose again. He's going to be going the right-hand side. He's going to push one man off for a tackle. He's going to break through, but 29 of the Steelers brings him down.
Yeah, another great run. I mean,
Billy Perkins with a great tackle there to stop a Surge TD.
Yeah, you have to say, what a response from the Surge from that. You know, the offensive error last drive to get 2 back-to-back first downs.
You know, this could very well be why they don't pass the ball. They know that where their bread is buttered, and their bread is buttered on the ground. Very strange. Why would you butter your bread on the ground? But hey, that seems to be the thing up in Staffordshire. So Broadbent has got it. There's someone out to pitch it if he wants to, but he's going to have enough for a first down regardless. Number 1 of the Steelers is going to come away with the tackle. Jake Hill with a good tackle, but it's still going to be a Surge first down. And I tell you what, they're getting dangerously close to having the Surge walk away with the first offensive points of the day.
Yeah, another good play call from the Surge offense. Taking advantage of their strength so far in this drive. Something that we saw them do in the first drive and it kind of stalled out. But it seems, I mean, 3 consecutive first downs, really not bad. That's the way to start a drive.
Carter Adams admiring the work, saying this wing gun is lethal. And we can see 44 in motion on the orbit, but it's going to be a QB keep up the middle. We saw this in the first surge drive.
The ball is
The
on the
ball is
floor.
out. They're saying it's Steelers' ball. We're going to have another look at this replay. Let's just see where it goes. Number 87 for the Sandwell have got it.
And
I
it
think
is
that's
Steelers'
right.
ball.
And the Surge, again, have another impressive offensive drive, but they just cannot punch it in when they're getting close to the end zone. 87 for the Steelers getting it. 97, perfect, because I can't find an 87 on my sheet. So James Moylan there with the recovery. Sandwell are going to have the ball, but they're going to have it deep inside their own territory as the wind starts to pick up. You can tell that because the camera is shaking. I'll try and stop the camera from shaking. So trips on the right. It's going to be a run up the middle. A big burst of speed. Going to have some positive yardage, but not too much.
And for the majority of today, the Surge defence is enjoying stopping the run, swallowing it up quite a lot. I think they might have had one or two players where it's gone for more than about 5 yards.
Yeah, it's definitely the Surge offence. It's definitely more impressive than the Sandwell offence. But you know, after a pick six and then a fumble from the Surge, you've got to be giving the defensive edge to the Steelers. And normally, in that case, when it comes to who's going to win the game, you normally give the edge to their defense. So it's going to be another run play. And again, there's going to be another bit of positive yardage on that play. Looks like a gain of 2. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Big third down for the Steelers. You think they can convert this third down?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Go on.
No.
No?
No, I don't. No, I don't. And I think that if you think, what I think is going to happen is I don't think they're going to get this. I think they're going to punt into the wind. I don't think it's going to go very far. That's what I think is going to happen. If you want my honest opinion. But Green in at QB. He's going to look to throw it. Will he make me shut my mouth? He's going to take off. And he's going to keep going. He's going to have some yardage. And the Sandwell sideline is saying first down. And will I have to issue a very abrupt apology?
Yep.
Yep, okay,
First down.
I issue an apology to the Sandwell Steelers for that horrific future call that I thought was going to happen there, but... So yeah, there you go.
Impressive play by the quarterback. The pass rush
100%.
got there and he just improvised. So, I mean, that's a way of saying
One
it.
of the best skills you can have as a quarterback, as far as I'm concerned. So it's going to be another run up the middle. And he just keeps going. Dodsworth, he hits that line basically at top speed, or at least that's what it feels like. And he's able to push through, using that speed to drag people with him. Seems though we do have a Surge player down. But it's going to be a gain of, I'm going to say, 6 on the play from Dodsworth. So the Surge player back up on his feet already. And going off to the sideline. The Steelers offense definitely finding themselves a bit more consistency, I feel.
They're still consistently not getting into the end zone though. So.
Well, neither team are they?
No, that's
So it's going to be another handoff straight up the middle. This time it looks like the Surge have absolutely got it. Doesn't look to me like there's going to be any gain, but doesn't look like there's going to be any loss either. Nope, talking nonsense. There's a gain of 1. 3rd and 2.
Trying to give a future call on this third down?
Nope. No, I don't. No, not at all. Pick 6? I don't know.
I mean, the Surge would love that at this
Oh,
point.
they love it. Okay, so it's going to go another handoff, and Dodsworth is just met We heard the crunch. We heard the crunch from up here. I don't think me and Alfie are snacking on twiglets. That was an absolutely crushing tackle, and we do have another surge play. I don't know, he's back up on his feet. 4th down. But again, it's important to remember that the Steelers are now going to be punting into the wind. I tell you what, it's a brisk Warsaw wind as well. Don't be running into any of those. So Adam Smith looks to be the punter for the Surge. Going to get it. Great long snap, but that's a high punt, not a long one. That's going out of bounds. And it looks to me that the Surge are going to be starting on the Sandwell 47. There's a lot of S's here. I'm starting to struggle with my S's. I knew this would happen. Staffordshire, Sandwell, Surge, Steelers, struggling with S's.
Big field position for the Surge. You think kind of got to take advantage of this.
They're in that wing gun, and it's going to be going. Oh, and absolutely swallowed up. 85 of the Steelers. 95.
We've been through this before, yeah.
Oh, Ryan Milton, an absolutely crushing TFL for the Surge, and now that great field position. They're now starting. Looks to me to be, I'm going to say, 3 inches, 4 inches on their side of the field.
Yeah, from such a good start in field position, I mean, that's possibly one of the worst plays that they could have had. We'll see how they respond though. Number 3 still in. And expect a rush.
Durose has got it. On the reversal, and another TFL. 38 this time for the Steelers. Have they got it figured out?
Is it too predictable with the QB in the backfield being number 3 or the number 1?
Oh, definitely. I'm talking about just in terms of these more complex
Yeah.
motion plays. But we can now see that the passing QB for the Surge has taken the field. Oliver Levitt-Allen is going to have himself a hard task, as they're going to have, I'm going to say, a 3rd and 19. What do you think that's longer? 3rd and 21?
No, I think that's, yeah, no, I think you're about that.
So 3rd and 19 now for the Surge. Levitt-Allen is in. They're going to send 82 in motion. Levitt-Allen just throws it out to the outside. They're not going to have enough for a 1st down. But that to me says this Sandwell defense is learning and they're evolving, and that is exceptionally dangerous. They stopped both of those big motion plays behind the line of scrimmage. And then it doesn't seem as though the Surge have got they're not utilising that pass enough.
No.
Potentially their passing game they may see as one of their weaker areas, because they don't seem to have much faith in it, or they maybe just have too much faith in the run. There's so many different options of what it could be. And I don't want to say one that will insult the Oliver Levitt-Allen. Because we've not seen enough of him.
No, only a couple of plays. He did throw that pick 6, which wasn't great.
Yeah.
Bit of a low snap, but he'll get
He's
it.
got it away. And that's going to be going for a touchback. The Surge trying to chase it down to kill it at the 1. Unable to get it done. The Sandwell Steelers take over. 1 touchdown on the day, coming from Robert Hardwick on a pick 6. We've still yet to see either offense break the deadlock. But I'd say up to that last drive, the Surge were definitely winning the offensive battle. But Sandwell managed to get 2 TFLs there. Is the tide changing? Offensively, that is.
Yeah, and I feel like the Surge are going to be waiting for half time now to roll around so they can reevaluate.
So flag on the play. That's going to be going the way of the Steelers. They're going to be moving 5 yards back. So they were going to hand that to Dodsworth again. As this game has progressed, the amount of yards he's getting per carry seem to also be increasing. So 1st and 15 for Sandwell. Dodsworth has got it, runs slightly to the left. He's not going to have anything that time.
And also see, as we spoke about it before, the evolution of this game, we're seeing the Surge defenders get further and further back with people, you know, in deep coverage now. When earlier in the game, they're all in the box pretty much.
Absolutely ready to swarm at a moment's notice. And we've seen the Sandwell defence get more alert, become more present of these motions that the Surge offence are doing. Gain of 1 on that play, 2nd and 14 in. Dodsworth has it again, but he's been spun around. He breaks one tackle, finds the outside, and Dodsworth's going. Dodsworth is going. Dodsworth is going. I think he's going to be tracked down, but what a breakaway run for Josh Dodsworth. He broke one tackle at the line, found that outside lane, and he is off to the races. And that was, you know what, that was definitely the longest play we have seen today. 100%.
Yeah, and we said one of them plays was, I feel like it was coming.
It was
at some
bound.
point. It was, yeah.
Bound. The amount of plays that were being stopped at the line, they're going to be breaking it off.
And it was going to take a special individual play at some point, and I feel like that's what has happened. You know, the broken tackle and then.
But I think, like,
Furnace
as
down
much
the
as
line.
we've got to give credit to Dodsworth, we've got to give credit to Dexter Glynn Bonning as well to track him down as well.
Yeah, a touchdown saving that one.
So it looks to me they're going to be on the Surge 26, my apologies. So it's going to be a run time, this play, but just swallowed up. A little bit of it was critical. Dodsworth's a bit unhappy with that. After such a good play there, it's going to result in a TFL for the Steelers. They're going to be staring down a second. What do you think, 14? I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. 2nd and 14. 4 receivers in, bit of a low snap. Green is looking, he's going to take it himself now. Going to roll out, make a man miss, but try and fight it out. He's going to not. He's going to gain a couple of yards, but not enough where I think this 3rd down is going to be relying on the arm of Zach Green.
We've seen the arm of Green a bit more than we've seen the arm of either quarterback for the Surge, but still not a lot. You think, you know, it's been a very run-heavy offense from both teams so far.
Yeah, and we can tell it by just how quickly Q1 came and went. I was doing Barcelona versus Malay yesterday. Barcelona throw the ball a lot. That game went on for a long time. It was fun though. So it's going to be a run play regardless. Number 3 for Sandwell has got it. He breaks one tackle, but he's unable to get anything going past that point. And I think that is even going to result in a TFL.
And that's Joshua Holt on the run there.
And Coble Harrison on the tackle.
What is this play going to be? Arguments about punts or go for it.
There are players and coaches that argue whether or not they should go for it.
And it looks like they might be.
Well, Green's on the field.
That is, yep.
Now, that Green's got a great a great punt, then I'm fairly certain they're going to be going for it.
You never know. You never know.
Okay. Can Sandwell make this up? Fourth and 14. Not first and 14. So Green drops back. He's looking through the air, looking for 33. And he's caught it! And he's caught it! No way, it's not going to be a touchdown. He's out at the 2. But what a grab that was.
Was it number 11 on the catch again?
Amazing.
Callum Jackson Tate, or Birthday Boy, I think we were calling him.
And they're saying, I think they're saying that's no good.
They are saying incomplete.
I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you might have to comment. I've showed that replay. Comment whether you think that was in or not. I've got a sneaking suspicion. I may think it is.
I definitely thought he brought that in just before he went out of bounds. He definitely had it secured in his hands by the looks of it. Definitely had some feet in bounds. And there is some arguments in the middle with the refs.
I think we might be due for someone coming over and having a quick chat with us, because put it this, I'm doing something we've never done before, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to try and load up that particular play. If I can do that, we're going to have another look at it again. So 2-minute warning. So I'll try and find that for you. He dropped it, watch the replay. Ah.
I didn't see a drop personally, but
I did. We're going to try and find the replay later on and we'll give you a better response. So it's going to be a bit more of a traditional, oh no! Somebody give me a number 10, I thought that was straight on the middle, done me again.
But it's behind the line. And yeah, I feel like you said it earlier, maybe Sandwell are starting to learn. Or maybe they just have.
I tell you what, they're starting to learn, but you know who definitely isn't? Me, because I was faked out once again. I will definitely try before the during half time, just before half time, to try and get that up so we can have a look at that, because I don't know about that. I thought that was. No. I'm not sure if he dropped that or not. So QB still got it. Oh, and almost a spectacular catch. Matt Chester, the target. We don't see a lot of passing from Broadbent, but that was certainly close, but great coverage from the Steelers.
Yeah, good DB play from the Steelers.
But this
no problem with the throat.
Oh, not a problem at all. The Sandwell defense, I think we've got to say maybe they've learned. No, they've learned. They've learned. We are seeing the surge behind the sticks, seemingly more than we're seeing them in front of them.
Yeah. You see number 1 back out this time.
Levitt Allen, their QB with the arm, and he's got some trips to deal with as well. He's got a long way to throw, but he's going to try. What a great, I tell you what, great looking spiral, great looking ball, but unable to find the hands of the receiver, and this is going to be going the way, bringing on the surge punting unit. If you hear any swearing, it's the players and not us.
And if you like punting, you'll love this match. I mean, what a punt fest! But nevertheless,
one thing I will say is that it's still pretty even. The score is only 6-0. You know, you've got to give the edge to Sandwell now, I feel, as opposed to it definitely being Surge. A bouncer, but managing to get it away. And that is going to bounce at the halfway point of the field. And it's going to take a great Surge bounce. I thought that went out of bounds. So inside 2 minutes,
The wind might have helped that ball a little bit.
100%. 100%. When you're kicking towards... I don't know how to describe this. The road. That's the road.
That one, yeah.
So I don't know if you're kicking right. Why don't I just say right? Am I stupid? Why don't I just say if you're kicking towards the, if you're kicking from right to left, it's better because the wind is helping you. If you're kicking from left to right. Sorry, my brain shut down. Why did I say the road? The road. Because I was just gonna, I was literally just gonna point and be like, that if you're kicking that way. Okay, so Sandwell, they're in trips. They're inside the 2-minute warning, but it's going to be a run. Dodsworth again. Another great run from Dodsworth. So fast. There, and Sandwell definitely going there, speeding up the offense now. Potentially a Sandwell timeout. It certainly is. But a great run from Dodsworth. He's going to pick up 7 on that.
Yeah, a true power back by the looks of it. He just runs into people. And if you don't move, he'll move you.
It seems to me he's a great blend of a speed back and a power
yeah.
back, because it seems to be he's getting to that breakneck speed, speeds that I could not even imagine my body going to, even whilst I'm driving in a car, on a plane or on a train. He's getting into that D-line and managing to use that speed, use that power, but also that agility as well to cut through those small gaps, because they're making contact with him fairly quickly, but he still manages, much like that, to go for 7 yards.
Steelers back of the line towards the end of this first half.
So it's currently 7-7 in Rushmore versus Wembley. Almost batted away, but great defensive read there. It's going to be a tackle for loss.
I'm saying that a lot today, tackle for loss.
Oh.
Is it the word of the day, maybe?
TFL. Not Transport for London. We're talking about James Millman. Let's have a look, because Dodsworth is him, and at this point, got to tend to agree. I keep thinking someone's saying Tebs, but it's not. I think there's a play call. Okay, so Green is dicking. He's going to roll out. He's going to fire one, but that is wobbling. And a great break up there. I think. Okay, so with that play, we reach half time in this NFC 2 North semi-final. And for me, as much as it may say 6-0, I think the edge goes to the Steelers. That defense has learnt Surge being very, very tricky on their offense. A lot of motions. It was spectacular. It seems as though the Steelers have got it worked out. Now the Surge can't get anything going on offense. We have seen Broadbent throw, and he's more traditionally a running QB. But also Sandwell's offense can't get anything going. But Dodsworth has been fantastic, and so has Tate Jackson. They had obviously that great run play round the outside, but unable to do anything with it. Having to go for a 4th down, having to go for it, and referee saying wasn't in. The referee's decision is final.
Yeah, close half, but I think
close up.
The Surge are going to need to reevaluate this half just to see.
It's sometimes a misnomer that there is a half-time adjustment, so you adjust on the fly. But you know what? I think if there's ever a point for half-time adjustments, it's this game. 6-0 to the Sandwell Steelers on a Hardwick pick 6. We're going to go through some of the scores around the league. Currently 7-7 in the Rushmore Knights versus the Wembley Stallions. Sport Tank is also streaming that one. So while we're at half-time and me and Alfie are having our water and snacks, tune into that game. Come back. Do come back though. So currently, the last update we had 17 minutes ago, the Aztecs leading the Titans 10-6. Not sure if I've got anything. Hopefully Russ can fill me in on something. No, so I'm going to quickly go over to the Nottingham Caesars stream, if that's still going on, as I believe that's the only other score that I've got around the league. Let me find it. Last time I checked, the seasons were 21-10 up, but that was you know, before Q1 of this game. So I'm sure that score has changed. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point out I used to play for the Caesars, so I hope that they win. So, actually, that game is wrapping up, and the score 21-10. It stays. The Nottingham Caesars have finally been promoted. Absolutely fantastic, or at least it seems that way. They're all on the pitch celebrating. I don't see full time, but we know well, apparently it seems to me that the Caesars are going to be going to Coventry on the 8th to take on the Stallions or the Knights. I'd love to know if anyone can find out for me anything from Colchester versus Essex, as that is going to have implications for one of these two teams as well. But me and Alfie are going to head off for some half-time drinks, and we'll catch you in a little bit. The score at half-time in the NFC 2 North semi-final playoffs: the Sandwell Steelers 6, the Staffordshire Surge 0. We'll catch you in about 10 minutes or so. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at Walsall Rugby Club for the second half of the NFC 2 North semi-finals. We'll find out who's going to Coventry on the 7th. And I will apologise for my foul language during the half-time because I don't normally leave the mic on, but I've left the mic on again for the second week in a row, which I think is quite impressive.
Stay consistent.
No, I don't want to stay consistent. I don't want to stay consistent on this particular avenue. So I apologise. Swear jar about to have a massive dowry of money piled into it apparently. And for anyone who actually did hear what I said, it did annoy me and it still annoys me. So but let's get rid of that. So this game 6-0. Sandwell won the kick and deferred. Ball is away. Great looking kickoff. And it's going to be returned by Sandwell's number 3. Going to try and break to the outside. Got a little bit of a lane.
He's still going.
Still going.
What a return to start the second half.
And I'll tell you what, that is exactly what this Sandwell team needed. It needed that explosion as they're going to start this drive in surge territory. The offense for the Steelers haven't really done a lot. That 6 points, if you're just coming into this stream after half time, coming by way of a Robert Hardwick pick 6.
Yeah.
The Surge's offense, I'd say, probably had the advantage in the first quarter, but the Sandwell defense managing to suss it out. Dodsworth, number 8, the running back, has definitely been. Seems to be an issue with the chains, it looks like. Dodsworth, number 8, you see him there with Zach Green, the QB of the Steelers. Dodsworth being a fantastic runner today, had a big breakaway play in Q2.
And we'll see if they hand it off to him again here to start this drive. And it will be a handoff. Run straight into that moment. I mean,
he seems to be one of these not rare plays, one of these perfect breakaway plays, because he loves contact. He's like a magnet for contact. He's not worried about hurdling or anything like that, but I guarantee he wishes he got a few more on that play, as that is going to result in nil yardage.
2 running backs out on the field now. Number 3 and the number 8. Number 3 who gave him this field position is Joshua Hull, I believe his name is.
So it's going to go to Hull now. And he's going to have nothing, and in fact he's going to have a loss of 1. After a great return, it's seeming to me that the offense for the Steelers is becoming fairly lowercase. Do you know why? They can't capitalise on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know what was worse, that or the Hungry Caterpillar one earlier.
Hungry Caterpillar and capitalise always works. Always works. So 3rd and 11. Bit of a low snap. Green is looking. He's got some time, but he's going to take it himself instead. Spins out a 1, but he's just met right there with a crunching surge tackle.
So the Steeler down on the floor. And he's not getting back up just yet.
It seems to me that was probably a fair amount of time that Green had in the pocket. We could definitely say in the first 2 quarters that Green was being swarmed fairly quickly. And he's going to bring up a 4th and 7. So they're going for a field goal now. Their extra point on their pick 6. So first timeout used for Sandwell. Oh, sorry, I thought they were. Oh, they are.
I do think they are.
I just think the QB is the holder.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
It looks like a long attempt, but we'll see. They're about 27, and then.
But they are kicking against the wind. So this will be a
towards
very...
the road, as we said before.
Grow up. So the kick is up. And he's got it.
Brilliant kick. Excellent.
Absolutely fantastic kick. You see 33? I've got it. Adam Smith with a great kick. And it's going to be taking the Steelers out to a 9-point lead. And potentially, that could be the difference. I mean, kicking into the wind. Getting it out here, we're currently watching.
There's a ripped jersey for the QB, number 16.
So it's got to be replaced. So it looks like Zach Green will be wearing 22 going forward. So if you see a QB wearing 22, then don't be surprised. But that is still Zach Green, as Alfie looks on with strange interest as Zach Green looks to get this jersey on with the help of 3 other Steelers.
Hey, we're struggling.
See, he's got it on. I was going to try and pan down to it, but 9-0 the score. Definitely brought about by a terrific kick return. Unable to get anything going on offense. Maybe that lowercase thing that I said. They've got 3 points, and considering that we've had 6 points all game.
I was about to say, how important could a 2-possession game potentially be?
I think I really do think that it's vital. It's absolutely vital. I do believe that we're not going to be leaving this game devoid of a surge score. But in the last 2 games with the Steelers, the Surge have only managed to get 1 score. Are they going to call that out of bounds? Are they going to do the old...
Well, he was touching the ball with his feet out of bounds, and
you can see that number 10 for the Surges, he's arguing that that's out of bounds. We're going to wait to see what the refs are saying. We're going to see if there's going to be a flag produced.
I would think there is, because he did have his feet out of bounds while his hands were on the ball.
They're going to have a discussion about it. They're going to have a discussion about it.
I don't know what you saw there, Tebs, but I definitely did see his feet out of bounds.
I think it's a heads-up play by number 10.
Yeah.
But, and it certainly is. And that kickoff went out of bounds. Heads-up play there by Surge number 10. Going to get a name for you, because plays like that, that means you've watched, you either know the sport really well or you've watched that.
Matt Chester.
Matt Chester.
Very smart play from the number 10.
You've seen the unwritten rules compilation of the NFL on YouTube, and you're going, ah, yes. But it puts the Surge in a much better field position.
I'm surprised the flag wasn't thrown a bit earlier, but discussion might have been made.
We'll discuss. So they're going back to that QB run, basically just the QB falling forward. They're going to try and strip the ball out. We saw that work with a lot of success in Q1. Where's the flag? Well, don't worry, Nathan, we've got it. I'm sure you're just a little bit behind me. So Sam Jenkins, played with him at Ouse Valley, a man who's got himself in phenomenal shape. I saw him. He looks like half the man he used to be, not in the bad way, he's in good health. He's giving us updates. So half-time in the other Div 2 game, Colchester lead the Tridents 7-0. Seems to me that we've got 2 very close Div 2 semi-finals on our hands. As we said, the Aztecs lead the Titans 17-6, and that is in Q2. Could we have an upset alert? Awful alarm sound. As we've got an injured Steeler down. I'm going to pop over to the Rushmore stream, get that score as well. We do know that the Nottingham Caesars have won their game 21-10 over the Yorkshire Rams. The Caesars are going to be promoted. Let's have a look. I'm not sure who's on commentary for Rushmore versus Wembley. Score in that game 20-7 to the Knights. I'm going to comment on the stream. Love you, XOXO. Send. So we're back in. Injured Steelers player on the sideline. Stuck under the pile. But he's out and on the sideline. But a good gain on that QB shove run. It's going to be going to 22. DeRose has got it. He's going to have enough for a first down surge.
And it looks like these kind of option plays, these different, exotic almost. I mean, the push forward isn't quite exotic when they push him in the back and try and get him forward. But that kind of play,
the thing is, it's
working again.
I'll put you this, it's unique.
Yeah.
It's unique. You know, we don't see it often, but it does. If you can trust your quarterback to hold on to that ball in that situation, and you've got some big men like the Surge do, we can even tell it from all the way up here that they've got some meat on the line. So a fresh set of downs for the Surge. And going to the orbit route, number 10 has got it, breaks one, but a good tackle. Matt Chester having a good run there, but it does seem as though Chester is down, is being helped up. So he is going to be coming off. But a good gain, looks to be splitting the sticks. I'm going to say 2nd and 5 for the Surge.
Yeah, I think for the Surge, you kind of get that kind of positivity back, because at the end of the first half, you started to see them plays stop working a little bit. They seem to be getting good yardage again from them. So
I completely agree. It could just be maybe they've had a bit of a refresher. They can add a bit more zip into these, you know, fairly complex plays. But in the wing again, and he's got
on the line. I think that's going to be called on Surge. Imagine.
There's a lot of pointing. And again, they're going to have a chat in the middle. Obviously, the Surge are pointing, the Steelers are pointing. And it's half time at the Aztecs and the Titans. Aztecs have the lead. Ooh.
Do your siren music?
No. No, I'm not going to do it. So a great run by Chester is going to be wiped off the board. And they're going to be going back to a 2nd and 10 for the Surge. Both these teams promoted. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do next year. I personally, you know, the big bad wolf of the north is probably gone in the Caesars. The Alpha's there, potentially taking that space now as well. So it's going to be a QB keeper. And he's going to be able to make up that lost yardage from the penalty. And we have a Steeler, another Steeler down. We've seen that Broadbent, he's got absolutely no problem taking it. But he's managed to dial one up there. Third and 5. It's going to be an interesting Div 2 final. Obviously, we're just going by the scores we see currently. It will be a meeting between the Steelers and the Gladiators. And let's say it goes to that game, I don't know who to call.
Seems like it'll be another interesting defensive battle from the scores we're seeing today.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Sam, do you know the score in the Warriors game? Has that started yet? So the injured Steeler making his way off the pitch. They've managed to have time to rehydrate as they're going to be staring down a Staffordshire 3rd and 5. Staffordshire also have a bit of time to discuss what to do here. Going to see which QB they're going to bring in. It is going to be Broadbent, number 3.
Movement on the line again, and
they're going for that hard count.
they're going to be another 5 yards back. Yeah, and it's going to be a more difficult 3rd down now.
You know, I think that's the perfect opportunity to use the hard count, but it's the classic. You've got to stay disciplined. And it seems as though that the Surge are unable to do that, and Sandwell reacting well. And that takes a 3rd and 5, fairly manageable for the Surge, to a 3rd and 10, Broadbent still in. And it's going to be going to Chester, he's back in. But he is going to be swarmed. Number 56 of the Steelers meets him in the backfield. Going to be a 4th and 13.
As the blue helmet comes back out, and we know there's going to be a Surge punt.
It's punt o'clock. Nathan Duncan penetrating the backfield. Oh, Taylor Shepard keeping us informed. 28-0 the Warriors over the Vikings. So punt is away, wind dying down. Going to result in a decent, going to take a Staffordshire bounce. And they are going to have that. What a spectacular punt. Number 25, number 25, he's done the golf celebration. Hopefully we got that on film.
The Steelers going to have a job on their hands to get this down the field now.
Sean Williams pinning the Steelers back deep.
And the Steelers' first job is to worry about that safety. Don't want to give one up.
Let's see, and oh, that was a fantastic punt because I'm fairly certain that that's on the 1.
Yeah. Right back. And we know how the pass rush has been getting to the QB today. Could be important.
But that's Steelers number 8. You've got to give it to him. He's able to penetrate the line quite easily. Will he be able to do it now when it matters most? He's going to be able to get through. Staffordshire say safety.
Not quite. Not quite this time, but do that again and you're in a good position for it. And it
so it wasn't on the 1. I'm just.
On the 2, yeah.
So it was starting on the 2. It's now going to be going backwards.
They can't afford to do that
in the
again.
backfield. So it's going to be a QB keeper, and he's going to have some yards. Zach Green. Zach Green still has it, and he's definitely managed to, at least for now, get the Steelers a little bit further away from that safety danger zone.
Yeah, a bit of breathing space for the Steelers now to kick on with this drive.
So the Steelers getting to that line pretty quickly as well. They're going to have a 3rd and 5. So Green throws it out, unable to find Tate Jackson on the wing. Did forget at half-time to ask him if it's his birthday. So we're just going to assume that it is. Yeah. But it's now going to be very, very difficult as the Steelers are going to be punting out of their own end zone. Adam Smith has got a task on his hand. This snap has to be spot on. So it bobbles along the floor, able to get it away, and that was almost disastrous for the Sandwell Steelers. Going to take a bit of a surge bounce. But that was almost critically bad. Snap bobbling along the floor, Smith able to pick it up and get it away. Surge are going to be starting inside Sandwell territory. But you've not given up a safety, so, you know, positives.
Yeah, it was a great recovery play by the punter in the end. Low snap. Managed to get it away just in time.
I don't think I've got the minerals to be a punter, you know, because if that happened to me, I'd just be screaming, man. I'd just be like, oh, nah, I'm not doing this. So, still in that wing. Broadbent is in. It's going to be going to number 22. He's going to have some yardage, but not too much. I believe that's Durose. It is. Yes. It's a gain of 1 on the play.
As those players are starting to get swallowed up again a bit. I do like how they're persisting with these unique plays, as it were.
I think they may just be hoping, like, the scoreline is so low. Oh. 0-2 still saying the Warriors are 41-0 up as of 10 minutes ago. So that has changed drastically from what we last heard. Still in the wing tee. The Steelers look to be sending a lot of pressure, sending man on an orbit route, but it's going to be going to number 28, but he is going to be wrapped up. That is going to be a TFL there. Surge are going to be behind the sticks again, staring down a 3rd and 11.
And the number 3 looks like he's going to stay out there.
We haven't seen Levitt Allen as of yet. But we saw Broadbent attempt a pass earlier in the game, and it's pretty decent. What do you think here? Guess the play.
I feel like it's got to be a pass. I feel like it's going to be incomplete. I'm just pessimist inside of me, I guess.
Unbelievable. No,
it's going to be a run.
Wrong. So 44 has got it. It's going to have some space, but he runs straight into the Sandwell 97, not 87, James Moylan.
And the blue helmet back out again for the punt. When does it get to the point where you think the Surge are going to have to start going for it on 4th in this kind of situation?
It's just because of the amount of runs and just how quickly this clock is going down. It wouldn't surprise me if they start going for it fairly soon. To be fair, this game reminds me of a game that I was at before Sport Tank were doing any filming. For you when Sean Williams gets this away. Oh. And it's a high, and it's going to be starting in Sandwell territory, but that ball went high and not long. It reminds me of, I was at Portsmouth versus Imperial many moons ago, and that game was much like this, low scoring, and it was getting to the end of the game, and it seemed that Portsmouth were not going to be able to take the Imperial Immortals, but in the dying moments of that game, Portsmouth were able to pull it out of the bag. I potentially think that that's where this game could go. Think about it, 1 score from the Surge and they are right back in it. But they need to get it first, and they need to stop this offensive drive from Sandwell. And Dodsworth, is that Dodsworth? I just see good running plays, and I think number 8.
Number 8.
Dodsworth again getting it 2 yards on the play. We hear the coach, the defensive coach. He wants a donut. Of course he does, and that's not a fat joke. That's a He wants it, and it goes to Dodsworth again, but he's met straight there. But this is why I'm so impressed with Josh Dodsworth, the number 8 for Sandwell. He meets that contact. Hey, a lesser running back, they would have lost yardage, but fighting forward, and it seems to be that it's going to be a 3rd and 4 for Sandwell.
Yeah, with that kind of, just that power, it's turned from a 3rd and difficult to a 3rd and manageable almost.
So let's see. So we've got trips. Could we see Green? Green now wearing the 22. He's going to be looking through the skies, and he's found a man. Let's have a look, and that is
Number 11 again.
Jackson Tate. Happy birthday, because he's getting all these gifts delivered.
I really do hope it's his birthday.
So do I. So do I. No, actually, I hope it isn't. I hope it isn't.
It would be funny if it wasn't.
Yeah, it does happen sometimes that sports you get your nicknames in. So 2 backs now to the left of Green. He's got it. Going to be going to Dodsworth, and again Dodsworth fights through. Just so impressive. In fact, I want to look at that again.
Yeah, but Steelers slow to get up, but he's back on his feet.
A yellow paint. Going to be a gain of 4, I'm going to say. But Dodsworth putting the entirety of Sandwell on his back and still managing to churn out yards. So a full start there. The tight end, I believe that's number 52 for the Steelers, jumped. And I tell you what, the referees are having absolutely cut of no one's jib.
No, not at all.
Andrew Lavelle, he's having a stern word there with the Sandwell 77 and the 40 of the Surge. Handshake.
I see a bit of sportsmanship there.
Well, that was big and blatant. We can see it from the commentary position that jump, absolute jump, like Van Halen. You don't get that reference.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
What are you mean for? Come on, man. Hello.
So it's going to be a 2nd and 11 for Sandwell Steelers. And Green is going to look and almost batted away by Williams. Williams had a golf celebration, then did the DV celebration of having it locked up. Multifaceted punting and breaking up passes.
It'll be a difficult 3rd down.
So they're staying with that 2-back formation. Do you expect to... You see they've got one high. Green fakes the handoff, gets it out to Dodsworth. Ball is out. Ball is out. Unfortunately, the Sandwell players have stood in front of us. So I'm unsure whether or not the Surge were able to recover that. Obviously, you can hear that there's a lot of commotion right there as they are also trying to figure it out. But there's only one group of people who can figure it out. They're not wearing Sandwell uniforms and they're not wearing Surge uniforms.
Still no decision as of yet. We'll see where they think.
But could end up being vital for the Surge. They've got to capitalise on this if this is going to be going the way of Staffordshire. So play was down. Staffordshire aren't going to recover it. The punting unit for the Sandwell Steelers is now going to take the field. Simon Bennett into long snap. Last time he snapped wasn't fantastic. Can Simon Bennett do it again? Almost left a man uncovered. Better snap, good kick, but it's going to go out of bounds, missing the head of the poor photographer who thought he was going to have a ball come towards him.
Referee's going to mark this at the Surge's own 30.
Dead on the 30. Now, as much as these Surge plays have been, you know, exciting to watch in terms of the motions, and obviously a wing offence is always fun to watch, it doesn't result in any points for them. Something needs to change here, because it would not surprise me if, just due to the amount of running plays, this third quarter is going to be coming to an end rather shortly. So number 3 still in, he's going to take it himself. He's going to cut back into the middle. Flag in the backfield though. He's got a good run, and but could it be wiped away?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I was watching the man with the ball. With the flag in the backfield might mean holding. And there it is. So that run's going to be wiped off.
Holding by the Surge. But a great run by Broadbent. And a great run from Broadbent, that means
absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Must be heartbreaking for the number 3. But
so what started on the 30-yard line, pretty decent field position. They're now on their 20. It's very, very difficult. I will give a shout out to the young child who's waving the Sandwell flag, because he's been doing it basically for the whole game. That is some arm strength that I could only aspire to. So a 1st and 20 now for the Surge. They're going to need something big. Broadbent is going to take himself. He pitches it out, and there's some space. It's going to be a decent enough gain, but it's not going to get them back to the original line of scrimmage. Oh, you know what? That is... I'll tell you what, I thought that pitch play potentially was going to have a few more yards on it, but there's maybe only 2 actually gained by that play. If anyone watching knows of any of the other scores around the league, put them in, because you know we're commentating. So still in that wing tee. Let's zoom in a bit, because I feel like we're a bit far out. So it's going to be a pop play this time to DeRose. He's going to have a head of steam, and he's going to get in between the original down markers, but I imagine it's going to end up being a 3rd and 8 for Staffordshire.
And it's, yeah, I mean, it's more manageable than where it was, definitely. And you kind of have to think at this situation, it might be a 4th down scenario if they don't get this conversion.
So 3rd and 7 simply was a yard shy on the old predictions, but 1 in decent enough play from the Surge, but they're going to need to break off just a little bit more to walk away with a 1st down.
Box is stacked.
So popped to number 13. He's going to have a lane, but he meets him standing, and the ball is out.
Try to pitch it.
The ball is out, and the Surge are not going to be able.
Not going for it on 4th down either. The blue helmet walks back out. You know what that means.
I really, really do think that. I know I keep saying it. I really think that this 3rd quarter is going to be ending fairly soon. We've just seen the referee, the back judge even, checking his watch. I do imagine this will be going the way. Referee will soon be picking up the ball, but not now, as it's Sean Williams, number 25, back to punt for the Surge. Wind starting to pick up a bit more, but a great snap, almost blocked there by 85, but not a great punt. And the Steelers are going to be starting on the Surge side of the ball. I hear a whistle. Is there potential for there's potential for some extracurriculars going on here. We've seen that keep going for that game, keep going for this game.
What's one of the last things, obviously, one of the last things the Surge needed was the Steelers to have good field position on this.
But can they capitalise? Again, a field goal has been the sole offensive points prize. So going to Dodsworth again, but he's tripped up fairly quickly behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss of 3 for Sandwell.
And I'll tell you, even as I hear whistles.
There we go. Got it right. So it's now crunch time. This is not undoable for the Surge. 9 points in it.
However, you'd think 3 here, it turns it into a 2-touchdown game. It's then starts to look a bit dodgy for the Surge. Need to get something.
Again, it's going fairly well already. They've managed to get a tackle for loss.
But we saw the kick in the third quarter. How far back are they going to have to push them to make sure they can't get a field goal?
Well, and also they're going to be kicking with the wind
there you go.
as well.
Yeah.
Smith, number 33 for the Steelers. He's already shown on the lone field goal of the day that he certainly has the leg power for it. But Dodsworth has been the key man. Just having a chat with the chain crew, don't you worry, there's no flags or anything. As we've got a little break of play, I'm going to try and check the old score-a-roonies. I want to give a shout out to the Caledonia Chaos, who won the NWFL Sevens League yesterday in an overtime game with the Hertfordshire Cheetahs. So the score currently in Rushmore versus Wembley is 27-7. The Knights are running away with it. Looks like they will be meeting the Steelers. Sorry, not the Steelers. The Caesars. Basically the same thing. So it's going to be a 2nd and 13 for Sandwell. Goes to Dodsworth again, straight up the middle. He's going to have a good gain. He's going to keep fighting. Going to potentially leave the Steelers with a 3rd and 7. So still no update on the other D2 game. The Colchester Gladiators still 7-0 is the score we've got, but that was from over 40 minutes ago. 48-0 was the score, our last score from the Warriors versus the Vikings. And 17-6 for the Aztecs over the Titans. That game, a bit of a high snap. And Green has got it himself, and he's found some space, and he's going to be brought down, but it's going to be a decent run from Green. Sandwell sideline is saying 1st down, and I will say that Aztecs Titans score was half-time, not full-time. I got a bit interrupted by the football game happening in front of me and not the one happening somewhere in Manchester.
How dare it?
So not enough for a 1st down, but it looks to me
They staying out here.
They're keeping Green out there. We don't see number 33, the kicker for Sandwell, either. It's 1 yard and you've got Josh Dodsworth, and I think that they give it to him that he could punch this very, very, very easily. Goes to Dodsworth, and he's going to have it, I think. It's going to be close. I think even the surge, yeah, is going the way. So it's going the way of the surge. Personally, I don't hate that play call.
No, you give the ball to the man that's been gaining 1 yard easily most of the game. Yeah.
Don't hate that play call at all.
However, you think you kick a 3, 2 touchdown lead, and you kind of trying to put the game to bed, but
I think Sandwell may just be happy with the fact that they've managed to hold the surge to nothing so far. And unless the surge, okay. So number 1 in, the QB with the arm talent for the surge in now. That is where
essential.
This is where this is going to start to get a little bit interesting. I remember it's Levitt Allen. Ollie Levitt Allen's going to have it. He's going to keep it himself, but a sack. Looks to me like there was a potential for a pitch on that play, but Levitt Allen just could not get it out, it seemed like. Or potentially he thought he saw a hole before he was swarmed by Sandwell. And that is going to be at the very least, a 2nd and 17 for the Surge. And the Surge have definitely found themselves playing this game from behind the sticks majoritively, and that's got to be a huge shout out to the Sandwell Steelers defense.
Number 1 still in at QB. We'll see if he actually uses his arm this time.
So going for the hard count are the Surge. Levitt Allen looking to throw, but he's going to be swarmed in the backfield, and that is out. And they're saying that was on the 1, or at least Lovett, the ref, he's saying it's on the 1. And it seems to be that the Surge's attempts to pass, or at least give Levitt Allen a try at QB, has ended in almost disaster, as they are facing, what would you say, a 3rd
and forever.
A 3rd and 28, and they're on their own 1.
It's not looking good.
And they've just had 2 tackles for losses from the Sandwell defense. I do think that both with this and the potential next play, the Surge are going to have to work very hard to not give 2 points to Sandwell here. But they did manage to make the Steelers jump. I think that's going to be on Sandwell. It certainly is, and that's going to give the Surge a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, a big penalty there. Something that Sandwell really shouldn't have committed themselves to there.
I think it's like when you're that close to your opponent's goal line, they're playing out their own end zone, you're a bit excited. You want to get that sack. You want to give your team 2 points. So Levitt Allen now back in. He's got some space and he's going to throw a bomb.
Just overthrown. Wasn't too far off his man.
But he was looking for Duro's number 22. Now, I know you said about when is the time for the Surge to go for it on 4th down. This is 100% not it.
No, never. Never.
So it seems to me that the Surge are going to be trying to punt it away from their own 6.
I can't see a blue helmet, but that's
so
nonetheless
instead,
a punt.
Number 5 in to kick it away. Sean Williams, the blue helmeted punter. Said it's Joe McCarthy. Does manage to get it away takes a bit more of a surge bounce. So that is going to be on the Steelers' 35. Good punt considering it was out the back of his own end zone. But we are in Q4 and the Steelers have a 9-point lead.
And I think at this point, you just think you got to reiterate the great defensive displays we've seen from both teams here today.
100%.
And I know the Surge giving away 9 points, but even then, that was a defensive play for the 6 for the Steelers. So, yeah, shout out to both defences here today.
Again, you know, it's the old adage, offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. Okay, so Green is looking, but Green's going to now take it himself. He's being pursued, but a decent enough run. Going to try and truck a man. It looks to me that Green is going to have enough for a first down, or if not, it's going to be a 2nd and inches.
Yeah, he got very close, right in line with us. He's just behind the sticks.
So he is. So the Steelers are just a single yard from encroaching back on Surge territory. 2nd and 1 for the Steelers. 1 quarter left before they punch their ticket to Coventry on September 7th to take on either Essex or Colchester. So to Dodsworth, and he's wrapped up. But he falls forward. He falls forward. Let's see what the referees say. Great fight again from Josh Dodsworth, number 8 of the Sandwell Steelers.
Yeah, and you could have said that play was over. I mean, that's an exaggeration, obviously, but
20 seconds.
20 seconds before it was.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? That play looked over, and he still fought for more yards. It's been the story of his game, really.
So no loss on the play for Dodsworth, but I tell you what, it is surprising that they are managing to stop Dodsworth after, you know, being so dominant. But I think that's because they've realised, oh, this guy's pretty good.
As the box is full again, ready for him to run at him. No men deep.
Yeah, I think it's going to him. So it's a new QB and he tries to run it, but flattened. And I tell you what, this could give the Surge a little bit of life.
That was the running back number 3. Then it was there's a direct snap to number 3 that time. I don't think there was any intention of a QB kind of play.
So a 4th and 3, and the Sandwell Steelers bring on their punting unit. Smith is going to kick it away. Obviously, that field goal could be the difference maker if Surge are able to get a touchdown. It was all because of the man who's about to kick it away now. Good snap, good kick, great kick. And just nice and simple, the Surge are going to be pinned back. Let's see where the referees are going to line up. Could be within the 20 of the Surge's own territory.
It'll be within the 15, I think. It's hard to see exactly where.
Let's wait for these sticks to go down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great pump.
It's about the 13, 12, 13.
You know, Smith making a definite contention for, you know, the Sport Tank MVP of this game, but I mean, I've already got a man in mind, and I'm sure you do as well.
There's been a couple of defensive players that stuck out today, but yeah.
You could give it to Hardwick. He's recorded the only touchdown of the game so far. So Lovett Allen still in at QB. He's going to scramble, giving it to Duros on a pitch on the inside, but the Steelers having absolutely none of it. Going to result in a, get ready for this, a tackle for loss, and the Staffordshire Surge find themselves behind the sticks. Once again, potentially may needing to take a page out of the Oxford Lancers playbook. Maybe use some deep passes.
feel like that's going to be needed sooner rather than later.
So Lovett Allen's still in this wing formation. Lovett Allen's looking to throw it. He's able to make a connection, and it's going to result in a good amount of yards, potentially only 2 needed by the Surge on this 3rd down. And we've not seen, passes have not been the flavour of the day. Could be because of the wind. No, 3rd and 3, sorry. Could be because of the wind, we don't know. But a good one there for Lovett Allen. But Broadbent, number 3, has subbed in at QB for the Surge.
We know what to expect, but will we get it? I'm not too sure. We've seen him throw the ball once, and he didn't have a bad arm.
It wasn't bad. There was just a Sandwell player in the vicinity. But you can see Sandwell, they are stacking that box. They know Broadbent's in. They know it's probably going to be a run play, and it goes to number 44. And number 44 breaks one, breaks another. Is going to be enough for a Surge 1st down. Okay, maybe giving the Surge, get this, a surge of energy.
That was good. No, I like that one.
Is Phoenix playing? Yes. Sorry, is Bennett playing? Yes, Phoenix he is, but he's on defense, so he's not in there at the minute. He is. Where is he? Oh no, he is on defense, so he is on. Where is he? Oh no, he's right there, Phoenix. He's right there in front of us, 55. Let's get back into the play. So it's going to be a pop pass to Chester, but Chester's going to make him. Make another man miss. Fantastic by Chester, but as much as they were able to bring him down, that's still another good game by the Surge.
Yeah, very good play. I mean.
Oh, and that's a great play. That's going to be a 2nd and 1, and this might be the first time in this game that we've really seen the Surge put together successful plays.
Yeah, and it will raise hopes on that Surge sideline. I think that's exactly what they need at the moment.
You know, at the end of the day, like, this game is still 9-0. It's not out of the realm of possibility for a Surge win. Box is stacked. They're going to have one high. Chester in motion. Broadbent's going to keep it himself. No, that's Lovett Allen in. And that's going to be a tackle for loss. But that loss is only going to be potentially a 2. Looking like a 1. No, it's only going to be a loss of 1. So 3rd and 2 for the Surge.
Broadbent back in the game.
You know, it sounds so cliche, but it almost does feel like, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back for Staffordshire. I said that I would be surprised if this game finishes without a Surge score.
Box stacked again.
They've got a big man in at back. I think it's going to be a QB shove. Broadbent's going to take it himself, and what a tackle. 38 of Sandwell. Stopping that play as Broadbent tried to fly through the air.
You think they'll have to be going for this? Surely not a punt at this time. They have to go for this.
So Robert Hardwick, he got the pick 6, and he stopped that play there. But yeah, this is now 4th down territory. 4th and 2 for the Surge. Could be, you know, don't want to rip anyone off, could be a turning point, and it's going to be a timeout for Staffordshire. They've got to discuss this. So 3 minutes, so 4 minutes remaining on the clock. Can Staffordshire, you know, at this stage, pull off a miracle?
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's 9 points, but realistically, they need this 1st down.
And they need a score of any kind on this drive. They don't need a touchdown on this drive. I'm sure they'd like it, but it's more important for the field goal. Well, the field goal is acceptable as well. You just need a score to stay in this game.
I think it does all come down to this play. You know, especially when you consider that the Steelers, with Dodsworth, they can run this clock out. And I think that they're going to trust their number 8 enough to get those yards each time. Not so much as getting a first down with the play, but getting 3-4 yards, making the Surge burn their timeouts. They've now only got 2 remaining, when realistically they could be all vital. This is a heavy, heavy box. Again, big man behind Broadbent. This could be going the way of the QB, and it certainly is. A fumble on the play. 13, fumbled, recovered by the Surge. But the Sandwell Steelers make the tackle.
Flag flies.
Flags on the play. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I was just coughing. I'm going to have a swig of some water. Cool.
Interesting to see what this call is. Both teams are pretty sure it is going back to the Sandwell offense.
Seems to be it could be on the Surge, and I think with that, this game could very well be in the books. There's a lot of talking, a lot of discussing. Love it, our white hat ref. There's a lot of shouting, but at the end, so unsportsmanlike conduct on both squads, they're going to offset. Sandwell are going to take over on the Staffordshire 39, but under 4 minutes remaining in Q4, 9-0 the score. And unless something spectacular happens, the Sandwell Steelers will be going to Coventry on the 7th, and Dodsworth just punches it through. Exactly what you need.
Yeah, he's had an impressive game today, and to run this out for them now, I mean, was really top it off.
As far as I'm concerned, you know, overall MVP, I want to give it a 38. Robert Hardwick, he's got the critical score, but also MVP. Here is Dodsworth. I mean, it's as simple as that. So, this is an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. You need to strap in for this. Third quarter, Titans Aztecs. The Aztecs lead 25-6.
Wow.
I know that we're in locked in here in Warsaw for this game, but my lord, 25-6 start of the third. The Aztecs could upset the Titans, and I tell you what, Brit Bowl on the 8th of September could have just got a whole lot more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were looking towards another Warriors-Titans Brit Bowl, but now, I mean, interesting, very interesting.
It's going to be so weird. I can't believe that score. I'm going to have a look at some more. So it's going to be a 3rd and 7 for Sandwell. They don't want to give this ball back to the Surge if they can help it.
Not this early, at least.
So it's going to be a pitch out, dropped by Dodsworth, recovered by the Surge. Nope, no. Dodsworth manages to just find it on the ground. Great recovery.
Very good.
So 27-13 is the score between the Stallions and the Knights, going the way of the Knights. We've got an injured Surge player down, and with that we're going to have a look, see what we've got around the league, see if we've got anything from Colchester, as obviously this one is going to be of interest to whoever wins this game. Obviously looking like it's Sandwell. Oh my God, 2 minutes ago. sorry, 2 minutes ago, Bristol 31, Titans 12. So it keeps on growing. So we know the Caesars have won. And it looks like the Rushmore Knights have won as well. Looks like they'll potentially go up. But you say that Wembley are coming back. I do wish that we had more for you from this Colchester game, but we just can't find anything. Last time we got any info, it was 7-0 to the Gladiators over the Tridents. But it seems to be, and also the London Warriors were 48 points up against the Vikings. Seems to be that Warriors going to take their place in. So Smith is going to kick it away.
Another quite a good punt.
Smith is absolutely spectacular.
Mate, I mean, the Surge really didn't need a punt of that quality there. Sending them right back.
This, again, this is crunch time now. This, again, it's only 9 points. Surge need to really, really find something. We see, I believe that's Lovett Allen is going to be starting this drive at QB, and they're going to be starting on what looks like their own 13. What do you think about that? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 13 or 14.
Yeah,
no,
it's one of those.
I mean, they're next to each other, so it makes sense.
Way. So moving to a more traditional looking offense, no more wing T for them. Lovett Allen is looking. He's going to scramble out. He's going to get the ball off. Chester has caught it. Good catch by Chester. He was trying to find that sideline. Is it going to be enough for a first down? Going to look around. 1 minute and 57 remains. Be the 2-minute warning. And it seems to be now is the time that the Surge decided to unlock this passing. But the thing is, they're passing into the wind, and I'm not sure if you heard that big rustle where the wind is picking up here in Walsall. Currently Warriors 62-0 on the Vikings. So it's looking like we're going to have a third time matchup between the Aztecs and the Warriors. So Lovett Allen is looking. They're using this pass game now. Lovett Allen throws a bomb, and it's a great reception. He's got to get out of bounds, and he does. Oh boy, this game is cooking. The Surge get it on their side, or the Steelers' side of the field after 2 big throws.
And I'll be honest, the only question I can think to ask was, where was that earlier? You know?
Hey, maybe they were just playing for this.
Well, the last 2 minutes. It would be an interesting tactic, but we'll see now.
So clock has stopped. They have got it on the Sandwell 34-yard line. After Lovett Allen's done 2 big old catches. Moving away from this wing. Throwing into the wind. He's got to put some more juice on it. That's definitely caught by the wind, but it's a big catch. They're going to have that down at the 20.
They need to hurry it up back to the line now.
They certainly need to move fast, and they certainly are. They know that this is crunch time. Could we see a Surge score here? They're going to spike it.
Actually took his knee first before throwing the ball.
To be fair, the Steelers coaches are saying that he took a knee before, and it did look that way, and I'm sure the referees are going to be discussing whether or not this clock is going to keep on running. So timeout on the referees, time to discuss this.
I mean, it'd be a silly mistake to make.
Be a very silly mistake to make, especially after this momentum that they've gained.
It'd be a close thing to call as well. I couldn't really see in real time.
Oh, we would have had to have a camera on the sideline looking directly at that specific location.
Yeah. Referee's discussing it with the number 1.
So if I gather from the Sandwell Steelers coach's response, they spiked it. So clock stop, 2 great throws from Levitt Allen. 22 in motion, that is DeRose. Levitt Allen is looking again, he's got the protection, throwing it out. Looking for Chester, but cannot find him. He was thrown in the area of Robert Hardwick, the man who picked him off earlier in the game.
An incompletion isn't the worst thing. Definitely not there.
Clock stops, 3rd down though. They're going to be going for this on 4th. Let's not beat around the bush. There's momentum on the side of the Surge. And inside 2 minutes.
You also have to remember, they don't have to go for this on 4th down. A field goal would suffice for this drive, as long as they can get the ball back.
It's going to be onside. So Levitt Allen tries to escape, and he does. Gets it out to his number 44. Look, he's going to be hunting for the sideline. And he's going to be brought down. So not going to be enough for a 1st down. And an injured player down for the Sandwell Steelers, which means that that's going to be a timeout.
Yeah,
charge
not what
to the Steelers. Exactly what
need.
they don't want. It's going to look like a 4th and 2 and 3. 4th and 3. 4th and...
And we'll see what they do here. They have to get the ball back anyway. Yeah.
4th and 3. So here we go. So on comes number 25, Sean Williams. It looks to me like they're going to be trying to kick this through, and you're about to see onside city.
So remember, they have to get the ball back anyway, whatever score they make.
But it's going to be a timeout for the Surge. We are going to have an onside. We're going to have an onside here today. Well, unless this doesn't go through, of course.
Yeah.
This is wide angle lens time, ladies and gentlemen.
And let's hope them cars parked behind don't get slammed.
So Williams, and we've not seen the field goals today. Oh, sorry, Williams is holding. It's number 5 to kick it. The ball is up. And the ball is good. We have a Surge score, 9-3. And it's, I tell you what, I don't think the adage of squeaky bum time has ever been more applicable than it is right now.
And you have to say, you know, I mean, as difficult as it will be to recover an onside kick, you have to think the nerves are going to set in for the Steelers. So it could go anyway here. And we'll see how it does go.
Lock it in. The Surge need to really game this. They know that you can have an onside, but you still got to put it into the end zone. Still 7-0 to Colchester. The Tridents are currently on the Colchester 6-yard line. Thank you, Liam, for filling us in on that. We're going to zoom in here because we know where this is going to be going. I'm going to try just before this gets up again. Now kicking into the wind. Could it be a blessing? Could it be a curse? Joe McCarthy holds the Surge's fate in their hands. And caught by Sandwell. And that could very well wrap the game up. But a valiant effort from the Surge to try and get back into this game. The Surge, 1 timeout remaining. 1 minute 16 on the clock.
There is still time if they can't quite get this first down, but I forget how many, I think 1 timeout left for the
timeout.
Surge, yeah.
They'll be able to stop the clock once. So they're gonna have to go for it.
Yeah. They have to be aggressive plays.
So they need something big.
Bring it in together.
I don't know what to say. I'm just so ready to see this play take shape. Are they going to be going for it? It looks like it's going to be victory formation for them. There's not enough time on the clock for the surge to do anything unless there's a potential mess up. I'm unsure what's happening right now.
No idea. Still waiting for the snap.
But Hardwick, Dodsworth and Smith, flag on the play. Imagine it's going to be declined.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on Sandwell actually.
I'm not sure how much they'll mind about that.
It seems to me that Sandwell, you know, I was saying this to Alfie earlier, it's basically a home game for them.
Yeah,
It's
not
the
far.
closest thing to it, a home game for them in the championship game. They'll be playing on Saturday the 7th of September on what seems to be, in our last update, Colchester. But that game's still undecided.
And they'll use their last time out by the looks of it.
The Aztecs leading the Titans as we understand it. The Warriors last checked in 11 minutes ago was 62 up against the Vikings. Their tickets basically punched. Wembley are on 13, Rushmore on 27. We know the Caesars will be awaiting the winner of Rushmore versus Wembley. We don't yet know who is going to be awaiting the winner of this game. We're going to wait for our white hat ref Lovett to blow the whistle. There's not going to be a lot of time. Wish I could have more of a dramatic end, but
Yeah.
kneeling out is, if you're Sandwell, it's dramatic enough because you could tell that basically all of these players in white just blow us their spring loaded when that final whistle blows. I'm going to zoom.
There it is.
So the Sandwell Steelers not only get promotion back into Division 1, they will be heading to Coventry on September 7th to take on either Colchester or Essex Tridents. But after a hard few years for the Sandwell Steelers, they have an opportunity to add a championship to their trophy cabinet come September 7th.
Yeah, a really, really hard slog of a defensive display. Both teams played excellently on defence. And well done to the Steelers in the end.
It
Just coming out on top.
really was a fantastically defensive game here today. Both defences played very, very well, but you've got to give credit. That Robert Hardwick pick 6 is what has sealed the fate of not just the Surge, but now the championship aspirations of the Sandwell Steelers. It's going to be a very interesting showcase. So the Tridents do manage to convert 7-7 the score in that Essex Bowl style game. We don't yet know who is awaiting Sandwell. But what an interesting game this has been, and an exciting one at that. I'm giving my MVP to Hardwick.
Yeah.
He made some great tackles. That pick six was vital. But Dodsworth and Smith as well,
Yeah.
pinning the surge back exceptionally deep on some great punts. But let's be honest, both these teams are promoted. There's still things to celebrate for the surge, and what a great resurgence they had in the fourth quarter to add a little bit of spice
Yeah, I'd have
into
to agree
this
with you
game.
on the player of the match as well.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you one last trip around the country for these scores. I'll try and get some Colchester celebrations in, sorry, not Colchester, Sandwell celebrations in here as well. Last time we checked, the London Warriors were up 62-0 over the Newcastle Vikings. But I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, this game's over. And I know it's not a Sport Tank stream. Go and watch Titans versus Aztecs, for crying out loud. What's going to happen in that game? So as it stands right now, the Rushmore Knights in Q3 are up 34-13 over Wembley. And I'm going to try and get some more. We do know Nottingham beat the Yorkshire Rams 21-10. They've punched their ticket to the Prem. Let's have a look. Okay, we very well may have an overtime situation in Essex.
Oh, wow.
Trident score in the last minute of the fourth, 7-7. No one's streaming that one, but we don't have anything yet, but it's certainly interesting. 19 minutes ago, 31-12, Bristol over Manchester.
Looks like Bristol are going to the Brit Bowl then.
Seems to be that way. No, that's it. I don't know why I was looking around for more games. So Aztecs are winning. Caesars have won. Rushmore are winning. Sandwell have won. And it seems to be a tie ball game in the late fourth quarter between the Tridents and the Gladiators. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a spectacular game here in the NFC 2 North semi-finals. I have been Tebs as always. Alfie, say your piece.
Goodbye,
Actually, let me give you something. Alfie joined Sport Tank sort of middle of the season, would you say? Start of the season, would you say?
Yeah,
Middle of the start.
yeah.
I just want to say he's come on leaps and bounds. Great commentator. I've had an absolute joy commentating with him here today. So shout out, I'm going to give a shout out to Alfie as well. He's my MVP for the day. No, I'm joking. Well, he is. He's my commentary MVP. But Mason, we want to say thank you. As you know, we aren't doing the finals, as you know, but it has been another fantastic Brit Ball, Senior Ball, Adult Ball season, whatever you want to call it, for Sport Tank, for everyone who has watched one of our streams. Thank you very much for spending your time watching the best of British American football. And I apologise, I've not been there. I've been off in Europe doing European things. But ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, because Brit Ball might be over, but Uni Ball will return. I have been Ted. The scoreline here today: the Sandwell Steelers 9, the Staffordshire Surge 3. We will see you in the future for some more Uni Ball fixtures. I have been Tebs.
I've been Alfie.
And we will see you in just a little bit. Go and watch Aztecs versus Titans, or Knights versus Stallions, for God's sake. We'll see you in a bit.